Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of High Traffic Blog powered by Digital Deepak. This is Kamna Jain and Shreyas Umesh from Team Digital Deepak, and let's continue with the next episode and get our blog going, our Facebook page set up, and other things around that. So, what we'll do is obviously because we left at the Facebook page, we'll continue that first, just small tweaks here and there, complete it, and then move on to WordPress. Shreyas, why don't you also say what we have in mind, what we're going to do?
Yes, I guess since we stopped at Facebook itself, Facebook page, and Facebook page is something very major when it comes to social media profiles, right? So we are going to use it further also. So we'll just tweak it a little bit, get a nice Facebook cover designed with the template that we were talking about in the last video that you'll be showing anyways, and then we'll hop on to WordPress and do some pages, do some menus, and then some contact form and everything. Yeah, let's get started.
Awesome. So I'll just share my screen here, and if you can see, so you can see my Facebook account right here open. It's the correct screen, Shreyas?
Yes.
Cool, cool, cool. So one small thing, we thought we'll change is here in the logo, we noticed that there was a small black line and we thought we'll update it. So we've kept the image ready, and right now we'll just quickly just, like replace it here. So that's the first thing we'll take care of. Yeah, this should satisfy our OCD as well. And yep, this looks clean and set, because we'll also need it in our cover photo, so it's better to just make sure it's all good here. Now, talking about the cover photo for Facebook, obviously the first thing which should come in your mind is dimensions. So what I had done was just to keep things easy, simple for reference, there was a template. And of course you guys have seen Canva. There's another tool, if you like, it's called Pick to Chart, which is where I had just quickly designed this basic template, and this just helps you in remembering the dimensions clearly. So if you see, there are two things, desktop and mobile version. If you're taking care and into consideration just the desktop version, your dimensions would be 820 pixels into 312 pixels being the height. So basically only that part will show in your cover photo when somebody visits your page. And if you talk about mobile per se, it would be 640 pixels into 360 pixels. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly upload this here so that it will be easy to just understand how it looks and why these dimensions are really important. So this is what I mean. Now, most people will not want to open your cover page. It's something which will be visible on the page. So as you can see, the top part is not visible. And if you open it in the mobile, the left and the right side will not be visible. So any important thing like, your logo, some text that you have written, make sure it does not exceed this white line and it stays there. Anything else can be outside. So what we will do is we will just design a cover photo on Canva. So let me just change my screen here. I'll open Canva and we'll quickly design a cover image. You guys can also use, different stock photos, inbuilt images, which, Pick to Chart, Canva. So Pick to Chart has an integration with Unsplash directly. So you can go ahead and use that. And if you want, you can also use the cover photo template from here, but I generally prefer this. So if I have to just check, the dimensions would be 800 and hold on. Yep, 820 into 360. So that's what we'll put here. And we'll just get our canvas ready. So what we've done is we've just uploaded all the images that we need for today ready here. So this is basically the template which allows me to know what to position where. And this image, I'll just show you where we just downloaded and kept it from. So that we've taken from Freepik, but if you're using Canva, you can also, just simply go to photos. It has really good images. Say you search for something like blog, or say something like, corporate setups or anything per se. Or if your niche is related to food, so you just search for like food, get stock images, use it. So lot of images there. Now for Freepik, remember, if you're using it, it's obviously important that you license the author. We have a license, so that's why we've gone ahead and downloaded it. So we don't have to actually, attribute it to the author on the website or anywhere else. So we just searched for, I think laptop, and this is the image we found. All right, I'll just directly load it here itself. So first thing, I'll also update our logo here. That's actually the old version. Yep. Exactly. So this is why this template helps me. I know that I don't have to, wherever I keep it, it's fine, but I shouldn't just exceed this particular point. And now I'll also drag in the background image, which, we decided and kept ready. If you just double click, you can also, just like move your image around and just choose where you would want it. And I would ideally want to send this backward. And I know that this is the place where I don't want to cross. If you're using Photoshop, obviously you can use rulers as well. So we'll move it somewhere on the left. In fact, we'll also increase the size.
Yeah.
And maybe we could just crop it a bit. Yeah. And another thing we'll just do is we'll just add a line. So that's what we were actually thinking, that let's also include Powered by Digital Deepak here. And what really happens is, as you can see, there are a lot of ready-made text templates for you to use. And if you know you're starting out, you can use these as reference points for which fonts to use. So as of now, we'll just stick to something pretty basic. So let's bring this here first, get our text in place. And let's bolden it. We could decrease the size a bit.
Yeah.
Now we'll just, I think we should also move it a little to the left, I guess. What do you think? Should we modify it, use it as is?
I
What do
can
you
still
think?
see that white background from the logo itself.
Okay,
So
this, right?
maybe we can,
Hmm.
yeah, move towards a little right.
So I think it's a free option only, where we can remove. Okay, it's a pro option, so we can't do it. So okay, let's resize it here and check.
This looks
Still
good.
visible, no?
But it looks good though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think now this is perfect. Now the bifurcation isn't visible. Yeah. So if I just check with the template, yeah, perfect. So if you can see, it's not getting cut on the mobile, right? So that way we know it's a safe option. So
We can increase the space between the logo and the text itself.
increase. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
slightly.
And I was thinking we'll get this a little closer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to go?
Done. We'll keep it very simple. Maybe in the
Yes.
coming
Yeah,
days we
this
can
is
change.
just, something on the spot in the moment to just keep going fast. So let's download it, upload it, and see how it looks on the page. So let's go back to Facebook now. Just change the screen. Yeah. Yep. And we are set with the cover photo. Looks good. What do you think? Fair enough? Or technically, I
Yeah,
think it was a little on the right. It would be better. We'll make those changes later. As of now, we'll stick to this. And let's just quickly also add a button here, which should like be the call to action when someone visits the page. And maybe learn more should be good to
yeah.
go. And we'll just also link it to our website. And we are done. So yeah, I think for Facebook, this much optimization basic is decent. And what do you think? Let's jump onto WordPress.
This looks good, and let's now go to WordPress and do some customization there.
Awesome.
So, cool. So this looks good. So what we'll first do is we'll see if all the settings, general settings is in place. Yeah, so last time we kind of missed this. The time zone here is UTC. We just have to make sure it is plus
5:30.
5:30. Yes, that sounds good. So I'll just save the changes here. So let's go to the blog itself. Let's see how it looks right now, and then once we do all the customizations, we'll figure out what are the changes that can be seen. The first thing here right now is we do not have any navigation menu. Basically, in this, just below the tagline here, you kind of see the home pages, about us pages, contact us pages, and all of that. So there are two things that we have to do. The first thing is to create pages. The second thing is to assign it to a menu so that it all comes down in that particular navigation menu. And when people come to your website, they can easily navigate to different pages of your website. So let's go back to dashboard. Post is where you write articles. Pages is more of a static page. So let's go and add new page here. So I'll just type one of our pages as home, which is the domain name itself. I'll get this published. So here you also get a permalink for the page. Right now it's hightrafficblog.com/home. I'll create one more page. Let's create an about page and click on publish and go ahead and create one more page and contact. So these three pages are the basic pages that you'll need. But if you do have a requirement of more pages, you can definitely add more here. And then click on publish here.
So
And
before we actually, put in the menu, let's just open the blog also and just, like
yeah,
so that people can see how and exactly why it or how it comes because technically it will show up here. And, the reason why we are making a menu is so say, for example, you've gone ahead, created a privacy policy page, or you want to add something under your home page, or in fact, say about page. So, you want to write about yourself, say something about your product or, anything around that. So you want sub pages. Now, what will happen is every time you're publishing a new page, it will just start listing here one by one, as as Shreyas has done, and it's showing here. But now, when he'll make the menu, you'll see that he has the power to actually choose what's showing. So that's why you should know how to create a menu and set it up basically.
Right. Absolutely. So let's go back to dashboard. You can also go to menus from here, but I'll show you the traditional way of doing it. Appearance, and then I go to menu. And by default, this is what WordPress has for us, but let us change the name to primary menu, and let us delete this particular one, and let us move the page that we just created some time back. And there is about us page, and then there is contact us page. So what we'll do is we'll click on create menu. And yeah, the menu has been created. So we'll also add auto pages. So this by default, if you don't create a menu, it's turned on. So now that we want more control over the pages that we want to assign under our menu, we'll just uncheck this, and display location can be the primary menu itself. And let's also see how a sub item looks, so that when you hover around the pages, you also get to see one more drop down and one more sub item under it. So I just click on save here. And every time you do such customizations, you should always go ahead and clear the cache. So I'll go and clear the cache.
Yeah, I think saving and clearing these two basic steps, but sometimes, just not doing that might actually freak us out. I mean, I'm sure, there have been times where we've just not clicked on that save button and you're like, oh my God, what happened?
So yeah, as you can see, there is the home page, there is the about page. And when you hover around this, you can also see the blog post that we just assigned it as a sub item. So you can do one more level of nesting under this. But for now, I guess this is good to go. So what we'll do next is we'll also change the reading settings of this.
And in fact, let's also update our About Us page. Let's move that blog post there as well.
Right. So let's go to settings, readings. Yeah. Now it is your homepage displays your latest post. This is absolutely fine. So let's go back to pages, and let's click on edit our about us page. And having your about us page is very important, so that whenever somebody comes to your blog, they read your story, and they find a reason on why they have to follow you. And it also builds a lot of credibility for you as a blogger. Or if you are a business person, you tell about your company, what you have done in the past, who are the clients that you have dealt with, and all of that. So writing a about us page is very important. We'll also go ahead and look at Deepak's about us page. You can take some inspiration from here.
A lot, probably.
Yeah. So he has written a very detailed about me page, and he always insists people to go ahead and write as much as put as much as details in the about me page. So here he has created a very conversational tone kind of content here, so that he's just talking to you, and he has written about his journey on how he started a blog, and then how he moved on to working for different startup companies, and then he created Pixel Track and all of that. So you can just go ahead and read. You can add some snapshots here in between to kind of break the monotony and create engagement. So he has also said that he's going to write more about the bike advice blog that he had. So it's better that you go ahead and create a very detailed about us page. And for us, the about us page was the first
First.
blog post that we had written. We'll also update it in the future, but yeah, this is what it is for now. High traffic blog. So I'll just click on edit post, and I'll just copy paste all the content from here.
And in fact, I think some people also have this question whether the About Me page, like especially when, people are trying to rank their websites, they might, think, should it be optimized? Should we include keywords? I think personally that's a very personal choice. Like not trying to rank for the About Me page, at least initially, is fine. In fact, keeping it more casual, formal is also, a preference which a lot of people have. So either ways, it's fine basically. The readability is what should be good.
Yeah. So we'll also go ahead and add a image here to make it look slightly better. So we'll just click on update and let us go back and see how it looks. Yeah, looks perfect. You can do the other customization as per your needs. And we have our about us page ready. So what we'll do next is we'll go ahead and work on our contact us page as well. So usually the contact us page will have some few text, and we'll also have a contact us form where people will be able to come there, enter their name, their email address, and if they have a website, they can enter their website link as well, and then they can send a message, and that message will come into your um, email account, and then you can see what the other person has written for you. That's
And
what usually people do. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. And no, I was just saying, do you want to integrate the Facebook widgets? Do you think we should do
Yeah,
that
let's
first?
do it.
Hannah, yeah,
Yes.
I guess let's show that.
Yeah,
It's
let's do it.
definitely going to be really exciting. It's kind of cool.
So I'll go to Google and type Facebook page widget. So there are plenty of WordPress plugins as well, but we'll go with the default Facebook social plugin. So let's go here. Kamna, do you have the Facebook page link? Can you just drop it
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
chat?
it's open here. One second. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
In
Thank
fact, let
you.
me also update it on the resources until then.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have a lot of options here. The first field here says that you have to drop your Facebook page URL. I'll do that. So as soon as you do it, you can see here it has already picked up our Facebook page. And here in the timeline section, you can add timeline. If you take it, it will show what are the things that you can add as tabs. So you can add events, you can add messages and everything. I'll just keep it to timeline again. And you also have an option to hide the car photo, but I would prefer to keep it. And you can check out all of these options. And the next thing you can do is, so when people come into your website, they don't have to go to the Facebook website itself. They can just like your page from here, and they can also have a look at what are the posts that you're uh, uh, posting on the Facebook page itself. So what the way we have to embed this is click on get code, and you'll get two codes here. Basically, the first code has to go on the entire website, and the second code has to go on a place where you want to like embed the Facebook widget itself. So I'll go back to uh, the dashboard, and I guess in the previous videos we have installed a plugin called as insert headers and footers. You will be able to see this under the settings section here. And yeah, this is where you drop all the codes. And here if you see, it says that ideally right after opening the body tag. So let's go back here and drop the code here and click on save. And then we will copy the second code, and I would ideally want it to go inside the about us page. So I'll go back to the pages, click on edit about us page. So usually when you're dropping codes, you have to go to this text tab on the editor. So I'll say thank you for reading and stay tuned for updates. And follow us on Facebook. So I'll just drop the code here and let us give it some space, and let me go ahead and click on update. And once we do this, let us also clear the cache here. And quickly view the page and see how it looks. Awesome. So yeah, as you can see, the uh, page has been embedded successfully. You just have to create some space after this code has been deployed. That's it. So you have a Facebook page widget installed. You can also go ahead and put it on the sidebar. Just make sure the width and the height is looking fine as per the aesthetics is concerned. So yeah, that is done. So what do we do next, Kamna? Let us create the contact us page.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Yeah,
And maybe we can also just delete the post because we don't really need it anymore. The about
yeah, we'll do
enough.
that.
Yeah. And then, yep.
So, so to create a contact us form, let us basically install a very popular plugin. It's called the Contact Form 7. So I'll just click on plugins, add new, and here I will go ahead and type Contact Form 7. Yeah, let us install this. As you can see, it has like 5 million active installs, and it has been updated some 3 weeks ago, which is good. Let's click on active. And once I do that, usually whatever plugins you have installed, the settings also appears on the your left navigation menu for you. So here, if I see it says contact, this is the contact form 7 settings. So I will click on contact forms. Let's see what is there. Yeah, so by default, you will have a contact form. Let me click on contact form again. I will just remove this and say contact us. So usually with the contact forms and other functionalities, WordPress doesn't give you an option to do it in the front end editor. It's always in the back end editor, and they'll give you a short code for it. And this is the short code here. You can see square brackets, and it says contact form 7 ID, title, contact form, and all of that. So you'll have to drop this short code inside the page text editor, and only then when you update the page and view it from the front end, you will be able to see the form. You will not get to see it at the back end. But if you're installing plugins like Elementor or any other page builders for that matter, you will see the front end editor. So what we'll do is, by default there are 4 fields here, and there's also a send button here. So it says the label is your text on top of the field itself. It says your name and it says it's required. And this square bracket thing is the field itself. So right now we have your name, your email ID, subject, your message. This is good to go. Let's see how it looks first, and then maybe we'll come back and add a new field and then see how it works. So let me just save this form here. And yeah, so this is the new shortcode that we have got. We'll go to all pages and click on edit contact us page, and let's go to the text section and drop the shortcode here and click on update. And now let us see how the page looks in the front end. So yeah, there you go. You have the basic form here. It says contact, your name. You can drop in your name here, your email address, your subject, and your message. And if you click on send, So what happens next? It should go somewhere, right? Either it should come to the back end of the WordPress where you can go ahead and see what your audience has sent you as per message. Otherwise, what you can do is you can do an email integration so that whenever somebody fills uh, the form details has is sent to your email. So what we'll do next is we'll just show how you can add one more field here, and then maybe go ahead and do the email integration. So what I'll do here is I'll just create some space and say uh, I would want people to, I'll give people 2, 3 options on what they prefer me to send them as emails or tips, newsletters. So I'll create a checkbox here and I'll name it as newsletter. And if you want the field to be required, you can click on required and it says one option per line. So let's say blogging and affiliate marketing, email marketing. So it also gives you other options. It says put a label first and then the checkbox and all of that. You can just keep it as it is and click on insert tag. So once you do this, um, the field has been entered here, but then you will have to create the labels by yourself. So what you can do is you can just add this here, say um, choose your preference or whatever it is, and say it is also a required field. And then I'll close this label here. Okay,
And
and now,
maybe we can also just, add this placeholder here, like I have just sent it on the chat box. So maybe what we can show is that, when we add it as a placeholder, it also shows, like label shows above the field. So in case, you want to show any example, you can also paste this here. So maybe, exactly after newsletter is written,
yeah,
we can
so,
just, add the placeholder and whatever. Now you can just remove the your name part, and from blogging it can just stay there, so that will just become like the placeholder as well there.
so
I mean, these are your check boxes. So right
yeah,
after that, I mean, right after the tag which we inserted, if we just add this code, that text will also show within like the field.
okay, where exactly, Kamna? So do
Okay,
I,
so this
is this fine
place,
now?
no, so these are your options right after that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
in fact, not here. Let's add it in the name field, because in the checkboxes, there won't be any field, for example.
okay.
So
So
text your name is there.
yeah, and after
And
that,
exactly.
after the
Yeah.
square brackets.
Inside the square bracket.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the square brackets like
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
so okay, cool. Sounds
Yeah.
good. I'll go ahead and click on save. It says there is an issue here.
I think because there's a lot of codes here and there, let's just check that.
Hmm.
I think it says how to resolve, so it will detect what the exact error is probably.
Yeah, let's click on it.
So it won't detect. So we'll only have to manually see
Yeah.
which.
So
So it's cool. Maybe you
hmm,
want to remove the
yeah,
placeholder only again, and let's see if that will help us
yeah.
configure where the error is.
So I'll just remove the placeholder
Yeah,
from here.
just that bit.
Yeah. Anyways, let's check this
Check
out
now.
later.
Yep.
Yeah. Click on save. Let's see if it's working fine. Still detecting
So,
an error.
so let's do something. Let's just, this entire label bit, maybe we can just add it again because it might be happening because of some of these, inverted marks or something. So if we just do it again, I don't think there'll be any error. And do you want to just go with a cool checkboxes only? Okay.
Quickly type it again.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see. Logging. Affiliate marketing, and then let's say email marketing.
And
The dates are
uh,
required. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I think this should be fine only.
good to go now. Let's see.
Mm, looks like it. Maybe do you not want to change the name? Do you want to see in case that makes a difference because everything else looks the same, and ideally we didn't even touch anything here. Correct?
Yeah,
Because
this
that's
should
the
work.
only thing.
Yeah.
So maybe let's not touch that.
Let's see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's click on
Yeah,
save, and
yeah,
if this works fine. So yeah, this is
yeah.
ideally fine.
So
Let's go back here and just refresh and see if it has. Yeah, so you can see the checkbox here. So anybody can like just say affiliate marketing, blogging they want, and they not do not want to like get email marketing tips and all of that. They can do this here.
and
Let's
maybe you
see if
can add the label also now. It should ideally
yeah.
not must be some space or something like that.
Okay, choose and I'll have to close this label as well.
Mm. And we can also add the placeholder now only in the name field maybe.
Let's see. Maybe I'll. Yeah, this is where the issue is.
Yeah. Is it? Okay, so ideally, if you see in all of them, there's like some, mm,
Space, right?
yeah, but I don't think that should be the reason.
I don't think so. That
Multiple
should.
form controls are in a single label element, it says at the bottom.
Hmm.
So just can you click on it in a new tab maybe? Oh,
Let's see what it says.
yep. Okay. It's caused by wrapping checkboxes with label.
Acha, okay. So this is very specific to the checkbox as well as the radio buttons, I
Yes,
guess.
yes.
So what we'll do is instead of uh, putting this section here, let us move this back here. This should solve the issue.
I think it gives a solution also there that we have to use the label tag which is provided by contact form 7. So use these instead of the label elements it says.
Do we have the label tag?
So let's do something in like let's see further what is there in the checkboxes. As of now, let's just add a
Oh,
simple
yeah.
field for example because the other fields will not have this issue for sure.
Yeah. Let's
And
do.
also yeah,
Let's keep it short. Let's keep it to 4 fields and move forward. It's
yeah,
not.
yeah. And you want to test the other code as well?
No, let's go and test the email settings.
No, not the other tags, just the placeholder because we already mentioned. So let's just show the functionality. That's all.
Yeah.
The other fields, that bit we'll see it later, I guess.
Drop it here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds good. Let's see. Let's save and see if it works fine. Cool, perfect. Let me go back and refresh the field here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
So in
says,
case you, exactly. So in case, you want to insert something there and show it as a sample, that's what this basically was.
yeah. So either you put your label or you put your field placeholder in the field, or else you can try both. Left up to your preference. So what we'll do next is we'll click on mail here, and so this is the Gmail ID we had set up for the high traffic blog, and from name is high traffic blog, and by default it says WordPress at hightrafficblog.com. So in case you want to create more email IDs, you can create it from the cPanel. We'll cover that in the next video maybe. For now, you can keep it as WordPress at hightrafficblog.com, and these are the fields, right? So you have to make sure that the fields that you have entered in the form also comes here. So your email and everything. Let's keep it to default, and let's click on save. So Kamna, what you can do is maybe send a message
Yes.
from an
I'll just,
incognito window and
yep,
let me know.
yep.
So guys, you can also, there's one more tab here saying messages, and so it says thank you for your message and it has been sent. So whenever your audience fills up the form and sends it, these are the messages that they're going to see. If it is successful, it shows you this message. If there was an error trying to be sent, it shows here and all of this. So it says the field is short, the field is required, and all of that. So you can have a look at this, and additional settings we'll cover in the future videos.
Cool. So the message has been sent.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go back to our
Sometimes it
right.
also might take a couple of
It'll take a couple of
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah.
Since this is from your PHP email, so it does take a few moments to come here. Okay, anyways, it'll look something like this. We have tried it yesterday and it'll look something like this. So it says that you have a message from high traffic blog, and it says your name, whom it has been sent from, the email ID, the subject name, and the message body comes here. So this is how you can keep a track of uh, the messages that people are sending you from the blog itself. So yeah, and maybe we'll also give the homepage a better look. What do you say, Kamna? So right
Yeah.
now, the all the blogs that we have published has been entirely appearing on the homepage. We do not want that. We want short snippets of the different blogs that we are posting with the read more button and all of that. So to do this, usually this depends on the theme that you're using. For us, it is GeneratePress. So I'll click on customize here, and let's find where the option is. So if I go to homepage settings, so I'll click on layout and go to blog here. So here the content type is full. Let's click on accept, and it should work fine. Yes. So you can see the live changes happening on the right hand side. Let's go ahead and publish this and go back to the blog. Yeah, now it looks much better. So if I
Mm.
click on read more, it goes to this blog, and the featured image appears here. So what we'll do next is we'll do a lot of keyword research going forward, and we'll order some content. We'll also plan our ebook that has been pending. So in the future videos, you are going to see how we create an ebook, how do we like design it, how do we create a mock-up for it, and then we'll set up landing pages, email marketing tool, and all of that. So that's it for this video, I guess. Kamna, any
Exactly.
closing?
Yeah, I mean, I hope you've taken note of, all the things we have in mind because they're really exciting. Equally for us to, again, sort of work on these things, share it each day, and obviously for you also, especially if you're making your first blog. So we hope that, today you had a lot of insights on setting up your Facebook cover page and ensuring you've set your call to action making, and in fact, so today we saw, right, that how, if now that it's not like having a blog is not just about writing content, publishing it, it's also about having things in place. And that's pretty much what we saw with all the menus, customization of the home page, setting up important pages, and all the tweaks around that. So yeah, we hope you've been liking it. And obviously Deepak is also not here, so even we would love to know how have you been finding today's session, the previous section. So leave it in the comment section below. Either how have you been finding these two videos, and what is your progress till now, what is your issue, where are you getting stuck. So yes, we would love to hear from you how you've been finding the last two episodes especially, and any roadblocks that you are facing, right, Shreyas?
Yes, that sounds good. Even we would like to hear the feedback about the videos so that we can improvise on
Exactly.
the next videos. So drop your comments, hit the like button, and also if you're not subscribed yet, do subscribe to Digital Deepak YouTube channel. That's it for this video. Bye bye.
See you guys. Bye bye.